So I just got notified that my Kino Lorber order has been delivered. So I'm gonna go to the mailbox right now and pick it up. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you my first ever Kino Lorber haul. So Kino Lorber is a company that started in 2009 and they just had their 5th anniversary Studio Classics sale. So there were a ton of Blu-rays, a ton of DVDs on special, and man, there were some really good prices there. So I'm going to share with you the 5 movies that I got from the sale. And I wanted to say one word too about shipping. So I ordered these Blu-rays on the 1st of August and they just arrived today, which is the 7th. And so the thing I noticed too, if you're used to Amazon Prime, obviously you're going to wait a while for these videos to arrive or for these Blu-rays to arrive. And so just expect to wait. And the interesting thing too that I noticed is that when I was doing the tracking, for anyone that does tracking on shipping, which I'm sure many of us do, I noticed that UPS was supposed to deliver the package, but for some reason they dropped it off at the post office. Why would they do that? I don't know why they would do that, but they dropped it off at the post office and then the post office dropped it off today. So I think I lost a day in shipping just because of that. So just watch for that if you track your shipments, and I'm sure there may be many of you out there do that. And if you've had a similar experience, please leave a comment and let me know what your experience was. So the first movie I got is Marty, starring Ernest Borgnine. Now this is a movie that I just discovered. For some reason, I just discovered that this year. I think it was on Amazon Prime, and I really enjoyed Ernest Borgnine's performance. Now he won an Oscar for this performance, and this has also a screenplay by Paddy Chayefsky, who did the screenplay for Network, if you're familiar with that film. And what a poignant, nuanced performance by Ernest Borgnine in this movie. He really plays kind of a quiet character who's just kind of learning to be on his own and go out on dates and things like that. And it's just a very interesting, quiet movie. I love this movie. So this is probably going to be one of the first ones I put on over the weekend. So this next movie is a movie starring Burt Reynolds called White Lightning. And I saw this movie when it came out, believe it or not. This is in the 70s. This is from 1973. And great movie starring Burt Reynolds when he was really in his prime. And I think before the Smokey and the Bandit movies and Cannonball Run and things like that. So this is a great movie, and I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm excited to see the release on Blu-ray. So there's that one. And the follow-up movie from 1976 is Gator, which is another Burt Reynolds at his prime. Maybe not as good as White Lightning, but also really enjoyed it. And I'm sure I probably saw this one in the movie theater when it came out. And so I'm a huge fan of the 70s and 70s movies in general, police dramas, thrillers, things like that. So these are right up my alley, and I'm glad I added this one to the collection. I don't have this movie at all, so it's nice to get it on Blu-ray. And Kino Lorber is doing a great job of updating some of these movies and releasing them on Blu-ray. So I should say all the movies up to this point have been $10 or less, and this one was $7.99 for a special edition of a movie called The Doctor, starring William Hurt. This is a movie that my wife and I saw a couple of years ago, and we really liked it. So it was great to see it on Blu-ray, and we're big fans of William Hurt, and the story is great. It's about a doctor who gets ill himself, and so has to seek out other medical professionals. My wife and I are big fans of the show House, as an example, so we like these kind of medical dramas. So this is a great one, and this is a special edition that has an audio commentary with it also, and $7.99. I mean, you really can't beat that for a Blu-ray. This last one is a John Frankenheimer movie with Roy Scheider and Anne Margaret, and what a thriller this movie is. And I'm a big John Frankenheimer fan. If you're a fan of The Manchurian Candidate and movies like that, Seconds is also another movie. Those are 2 movies that are in the Criterion Collection. But 52 Pickup is a great movie and one of my favorites from Roy Scheider. So as a little bonus, what I thought I'd share too is that this is my first, as I mentioned, this is my first order from Kino Lorber, the website. And I had been ordering some classic films prior to this, and I didn't even realize they were from Kino Lorber. So I thought I'd look through my collection and find those movies and show those to you also. So these are some movies that I had in my collection before, and I didn't even realize they were Kino Lorber. And of course, you can tell the Kino Lorber disc because of this black label. So all the Blu-rays here have this black label. So if you're looking in your collection, you can kind of see them all together. And this is probably what I'll do going forward. I have all my Criterion Collection movies together, and I'll keep my Kino Lorber movies together as well. This is a movie that I got for during the holiday season. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie that wasn't included in the Alfred Hitchcock box set that a lot of people have, called Lifeboat. Great movie. Hitchcock's got a really creative cameo performance in this one. Obviously, the characters are on a lifeboat in the middle of the ocean, and as many of you may know, Hitchcock always makes an appearance in his films, and so he has to do it in a very creative way for Lifeboat. This is a great film, and I did not have it. I think I have most of the Hitchcock films, but this is one that I was missing, and I added to my collection, like I said, a couple years ago. Being a big fan of the 70s, this is another police drama called The Laughing Policeman with Walter Matthau. And this movie is also from 1973. So as I mentioned before, I'm a huge fan of 70s movies and 70s cop dramas, thrillers, things like this, like Serpico is an example of a film that I really enjoy. So The Laughing Policeman is great. And this one has also an audio commentary, some interviews with one of the actors in the film. And so, I was happy to see this one. Again, I didn't even realize it was Kino Lorber, but as you can see from the black label, it definitely is, right? Those of you that follow my Instagram will know that I'm also a huge Robert Altman fan. This is a Robert Altman film called The Long Goodbye. Kind of a slow burn film with Elliot Gould. Again, crime drama, very interesting mystery thriller type movie, if you're into those. And this one also has a featurette with Robert Altman. It's got a American cinematographer 1973 article intro with animation, and some other radio spots and some other extra features. So this is a great addition. I have most of the Altman films. There's still a couple I need to collect, but The Long Goodbye, highly recommend if you're a Robert Altman fan. And finally, this is one of my favorite films from the 70s, from 1974. This is the 42nd anniversary edition of The Taking of Pelham 123. And wow, what a great movie this is. Now, they did a remake of this movie, but this is by far my favorite. It's one of my favorites, right? Robert Shaw is in this movie, Walter Matthau again. Just a great sort of police drama where Robert Shaw basically steals a train or hijacks a train, and so it's that drama unfolding. This has an interview with one of the stars, Hector Elizondo. An interview with the composer, David Shire. By the way, this has a great soundtrack too for those of you that like the 70s music. This one also has an audio commentary with actor-filmmaker Pat Healy and the film programmer historian Jim Healy. Trailers and things like that. This thing is jam-packed with extra features, and one of my favorite movies from the 70s. Highly recommend picking this up if you can. I believe it's still in print. So again, I would pick that up. So that is my first ever Kino Lorber movie haul. Happy anniversary, Kino Lorber. So I'll be sharing more of these hauls with you in the future. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And I'll see you next time. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you... I gotta find the camera on. It's a John Frankenheimer movie with Roy Scheider and it's a John Frankenheimer movie with Roy Scheider and who is this? Oh. It's a John Frankenheimer movie with Roy Scheider and Anne Margaret. I was going to say Lee Mar. I got to do this again. There's going to be bloopers in this one.